think this is the best story ever? An absolute story of redemption and courage about John Alite's, and I hope I've heard it, Alite, I'm going to call him Alite, John Alite's journey from the depths and the bowels of organized crime to an elected official in Englishtown, New Jersey, is a transformation that few could have predicted. And I celebrate it. Once a feared enforcer for the Gambino crime family, Alite now sits on the borough council, bringing with him a wealth of life experience, albeit from an unconventional past. Hey, so what? What's wrong with that? His appointment to the council has stirred debate, raising questions, of course, about redemption and second chances and whether the qualities that made him successful in the underworld can translate into effective governance. What would Jesus say? What's the point of turning your life around if nobody's going to trust you? Now, Mr. Alite's past is well documented as a high-ranking associate of the Gambino crime family. He was deeply entrenched in the violent world of organized crime. He said this. We know this. And throughout the 80s and 90s, he operated as a top earner for John Gotti and his son John Jr., running extortion rackets and overseeing illegal gambling operations and engaging in various violent acts to maintain control and loyalty within the criminal enterprise. That's what you do. And his reputation as a ruthless enforcer was solidified by his admissions to multiple murders, countless beatings, and numerous other crimes that landed him in prison for 14 years. Now, his criminal career came to a head in the early 2000s when he was arrested and faced extensive federal charges. In a dramatic turn, he agreed to cooperate with law enforcement, becoming a government witness against his former associates. His testimony in a high-profile racketeering case involving John Gotti Jr. led to a hung jury, but it solidified his status as a turncoat in the eyes of the criminal underworld. Isn't that what we want? I mean, the last time I checked, many former mobsters view Alite with disdain, seeing his cooperation as the ultimate betrayal of the Mafia's code of silence, omerta. However, Mr. Alite himself sees it as a turning point, a decision that allowed him to escape a life of crime and pursue a path of redemption. Look at Michael Franzese. Look at others. They turned their life around. Isn't this what we want? Shouldn't we celebrate it? Now, more than a decade after his release from prison, Alite is reinventing himself as a public servant. His appointment to the Englishtown Borough Council came after local leaders, including Mayor Daniel Francisco, recognized his civic engagement and efforts to deter youth from a life of crime. Alite has spent years as a motivational speaker addressing issues such as drug abuse, domestic violence, and the perils of organized crime. Through books and podcasts and public appearances, he's aimed to use his past, really, as a cautionary tale. And look, with his own daughter and the whole notion of the plight and the horrors of fentanyl. He's hoping to guide at-risk individuals away from making the same mistakes he did. Shouldn't we be applauding this? Yes! However, not everyone, of course, is convinced that Alite's appointment is a positive development. There's always those people. I believe they're called turds in the punch bowl. I believe that's the legal term for it. Critics argue that his past is too checkered to warrant a position in public office. I think public office sometimes is too checkered, but that's me. You think that Nancy Pelosi is more honorable than him? He's come. What does this man have to do next? What? What does he have to do? I mean, this is ridiculous. Regardless of his personal transformation, other people just don't care. They question whether a man who once operated outside the law can now be trusted to uphold it. Yeah. Some members of the council initially opposed his appointment, concerned that his background would overshadow his ability to serve effectively. Why? But Alite has remained defiant, acknowledging his past, but also insisting that he gives him unique insights into the struggles of those he hopes to help. Mr. Alite's confidence is not without basis. His life experiences have given him an acute understanding of political maneuvering. As he himself stated, the skills required to survive in organized crime, negotiation, strategic planning, and influence, are not entirely different from those needed in politics. While he no longer operates in a world where debts are collected through force, he believes his ability to read people and navigate complex situations will be an asset in government. I say absolutely. His political ambitions do not stop at the borough council. Alite has hinted at the possibility of running for higher office. Why not? Including a congressional seat. He has drawn inspiration from President Donald Trump, who hasn't, whom he has met multiple times and publicly supported since 2016. Mr. Alite sees Donald Trump as a model for non-traditional politicians, outsiders who dare to shake up the establishment and to bring a results-oriented approach to governance. Given his name recognition and media presence, Mr. Alite believes he would be a formidable candidate if he chose to run for a larger office. And I say absolutely. His critics, however, remain skeptical, and they always will be. That's why they're critics. They argue that while redemption is a noble concept, it does not necessarily equate to qualification for public office. They point to the severity of his past crimes and question whether his transformation is genuine or simply another calculated move to stay in the public eye. This is called politics. Some have drawn comparisons to other high-profile individuals who have attempted to use notoriety as a springboard into politics with mixed results. So be it. One of the most emotional aspects of Alite's journey is his personal motivation for addressing the drug crisis. His daughter Chelsea, his beloved daughter Chelsea, died of a fentanyl overdose at the age of 30, and the tragedy deeply affected him, prompting him to relocate to Englishtown and dedicate himself to community work. He has spoken extensively about the dangers of drug abuse and the need for stronger intervention programs to prevent young people, our cherished young people, from falling into addiction. In his view, his past involvement in crime gives him a unique perspective on how to combat these issues effectively. Mr. Alite has pledged to focus on initiatives that support youth programs, improve public safety, and address the rising drug epidemic in Monmouth County. He has voiced repeatedly strong opposition to illegal drugs, despite the irony that the Gambino crime family was historically involved in drug trafficking. Okay, ironic, terrific. So what? That was then, this is now. He insists that his new role is about making amends and ensuring that future generations do not repeat the mistakes of his past. Now, despite the controversy, ladies and gentlemen, and I say to you, despite the controversy surrounding his appointment, Mr. Alite appears to have the support of many in the Englishtown community, and good for him. His ability to connect with people, combined with his media presence, has made him a well-known figure. And some see his candidness and candidacy about his past as a refreshing aspect in an era where many politicians try to hide their misdeeds. Others appreciate his direct approach, as do I, and his willingness to tackle difficult issues head on. Good for you, sir. As his term on the council unfolds, Alite will have to prove that he can transition from being a high-profile personality to a dedicated public servant. His ability to enact meaningful change will ultimately determine whether he is remembered as a redemption story or as a controversial figure whose past overshadowed his ambitions. My dear friend, let me remind you, if he succeeds, Mr. Alite's story could serve as a powerful testament to the idea that people can change, that even those who have walked the darkest paths can find a way back to the light. But if he fails, it will serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of elevating individuals with criminal pasts into positions of power. Regardless of the outcome, his presence in Englishtown's local government has already sparked discussions about justice, redemption, and what it truly means to serve the public. And for whatever it's worth, whatever my my advocacy, my suggestion, my imprimatur, my okay goes, I wish him nothing but the best. I think this is a great story, a wonderful story. What do you think? Do you believe in him? Do you believe we should give the man a chance? Do you believe that his past in some way disqualifies him? Or does it provide him with an ability to understand a reality that few of us will ever be able to understand or could understand but for that background? I ask you, my friend, please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. That's how you can vote for me. And more importantly, comment as you see fit.